Hello and welcome to my world of crochet. My name is Dina and today I'm here with you for another yarn talk video. And as always, we cannot talk about yarn without my faithful mug of tea. And today I have it here and it contains the Droomvlucht. Droomvlucht is a loose tea blend from the city of Nijmegen. It is a black tea. It has saffron in it. It has sunflower petals, like dried sunflower petals, dried cornflower petals, and dried strawberry leaves in it as well. So it is like a bit of a fresh yet sort of exotic tea. And Droomvlucht translates directly into Dreamflight. Right now, I think Dreamflight is sort of valid because we do have lots of hopes and prayers these days for my mom. I have an update on that as well for those that's interested in that. But as you can see, I'm also wearing a project. I finished the Butterfly Migration Poncho and I also finished a hat this week. And I have a few other projects that we are going to start on. So actually there's quite a few things to talk about. So this will probably be a bit of a longer yarn talk video. And I guess that makes up for the coming week where I will have to be absent on that day unless something crazy happens during the week that sort of semi-enables me to still pop on with a short update. We will have to see on that because, well, many things are happening these days. But yeah, I finished the Butterfly Migration Poncho, which I'm kind of happy about. I finally got a block that's sewn together. Got photos taken and we're thinking about, okay, maybe it's a bit loose in this, like it's a bit big. It could in that sense for me be smaller. And then I was thinking, oh, I could also option like maybe to make an extra border around to kind of narrow it in a bit. And then I noticed I'd made a mistake. And then I was like, okay, whatever. Have to think about that. So it's kind of put a little bit on a thinking process right now as what I want to do with it. It could also be that I option to give it away. My cousin is a little bit larger than me, bust-wise, so maybe it's a better fit for her. So it could be that I'm just optioning to giving this one away. In any case, let's see. We'll talk about that as it comes. I just shortly want to get this turning around my mom. As you all know, she is, at least if you're watching my videos regularly and following my lives, my mom is unfortunately sick. They have found a tumor, which is malign. And first they thought it was in the lungs, and they have worked from that thesis for the last 2 weeks. She had a biopsy taken that wasn't good enough. She had to get a new biopsy taken. And when they took the second time biopsy, they actually took 3. None of those were apparently good enough for, they weren't conclusive enough. And she had to get a third done. And she went to get the third done taken yesterday. Yesterday. And she got to the doctor yesterday. And the doctor had said, can we first talk before we do the procedure? And my mom was like, yeah, sure. And then the doctor said, yeah, I'm sorry, but we've made, I wouldn't say, yeah, it sounds a bit wrong to say that the doctor said they had made a mistake, but they had made a wrong assumption. So he was like, you don't have lung cancer, you have lymphoma, which is cancer in your lymph nodes, basically. And they attempted to take a new biopsy. One of those tumors he wanted to take the biopsy from had apparently decreased a bit in size since last. So, but he took a new biopsy, not where he wanted to take it. It's sent for test. We're waiting for those test results right now. She has to have a new PET scan next week, Friday, when I'm home actually, because they want to have the extra PET scan to compare with the last PET scan, but also to see, in case the biopsy doesn't work, where could they maybe operate a lymphoma cell out to test it, to find out what type of lymphoma it is, to see what sort of treatment we're talking. Both of the diagnoses, so to say, regardless if the tumor was in the lung or in the lymphoma, and it's malign, sucks. It's really sad, but given the fact it's not in the lungs and now in lymphoma, it's a good thing, which sounds really weird. I'm kind of happy because the prognosis for treatment is so much better for lymphoma than it is for lung cancer. So still keep your prayers. I have the feeling that whatever praying you have been doing might actually have helped. So I'd like to thank you for that. So let's talk yarn, because that is so much more interesting. But I kind of got my my update out for those that's interested in the update on her. And I'm going home to her to see my parents next week. So I'll be there next week, and that's why the yarn talk next week Friday is a bit uncertain, because everything depends on what happens there. And right now my family is way more important than everything else that happens around, which you all understand. Let's see. Butterfly Migration Poncho. I finished it. I got it blocked, laid out the 2 pieces, got it sewn together. Here's actually the seam, and I have another seam on the back side. Actually, what I want to do is I'll get up and twist around, and you'll have a look, and then you can judge, right? So I'll put the chair a little bit on the side, because then I have room to spin around here. This is right now how it looks. It's a little bit further down on the back, but I'm pretty happy with it. In the sense of it's just a little bit wide here. In the sense of, like, if I try to put it straight, it's very close on the shoulders. That said, that's the same on the pattern, like the lady showing off the pattern and so on. And you could option to like put a border around here to kind of narrow it in a bit if you want to. But I nicely got stretched it out and everything, and I got sewn together. As you can see, here is one place, and on the back side you should have it right here, right? So you put those 2 sides together, like you make 2 equal sides, and you basically work them up together, because this is the other end, and then you line them up to make sure they form this classic poncho shape. So that was easy. I dislike sewing, or sewing things together. Weaving in ends is also my favorite, but I think that goes for many of us. It took me a lot longer to sew these ends together than I had expected, and sew in the 2 pieces. Based on that, I'm not sure if I'll make this poncho again. Maybe. It's an option. I also have enough yarn to make a border here if I really want to say. You could make a row of single crochets all the way around, and then in that you could do the double crochet chain 1, double crochet chain 1, and then maybe do a whole row of single crochet or double crochets on top, and that would similar a bit to what's around. So if you have looked a bit already, you might actually already have spotted the mistake I made. I've first seen it now when I've sewn everything together, and it's kind of too late to fix. Yeah, that feeling, right? And the mistake is up here, right there. Do you spot it? Right there. Here, I should have just done a chain 2 and not 2 double crochets. It should have been a hole and a gap. I could option, of course, to maybe make a little flower or something like that and sew that one on. Fix up your mistake. I probably also have enough yarn to actually make that border around. It is on my thoughts right now. I've not finalized that decision, but it's on my mind. But I'm pretty happy further than that with how it turned out. It was a simple make. Once you get into the repeat, it's nice and good. It is summery, so I may make it in the future. I wouldn't say I hated doing it at all. Actually, was reasonably swift, was smooth. The benefit of having two loose pieces sewn together is, of course, that you're not sitting with this heavy poncho when you get closer towards the end. That part I also liked. But will I really make it again? I don't know. Maybe. It will have to depend on the day. If I'm in the mood, it could be. I do have enough yarn left to actually make that border if I really want to. I have a full skein plus a loose, but I have also another 4 or 5. I think it's 4, but it could also be 5 skeins upstairs. Because I want to make the charming Clover top, which is like a Holden egg top, loose summer top-ish, and I thought these colors could be really great for it. But I haven't done it yet. And it could also be that I option to see if I could make a border around here and maybe make some sort of small ornament you can put on here to kind of cover up that I could also option to do that. So I may hold back a bit on that. And in any case, I'm not making tops right now because if any of those tops I want to use for myself, I'd like to slim a bit. And on that note, it is progressing. Not very fast, but we are progressing. The yarn I use for this Butterfly Migration is the Drops Cotton Light, which is 50% cotton, 50% polyamide. And it is like a DK weight yarn. I worked it up in I do think I used a 3.5mm crochet hook for this because that's what the pattern said. The yarn calls for a 4mm, so that is also why it's a little bit denser here. But generally, you know, I like the pattern and it looks really nice after it had, and I didn't do extreme stretch block or something like that. I just like stretched out so that you could see the pattern definition. And I moistened it down with some water, so I just gave it a light blocking. And I really like the outcome. I'm just, because I noticed now, I'm annoyed with it. Damn it. And that's a perfectionist of me, because the thing is, I almost have the feeling, tell me, comments down below, did you notice the mistake before I told you where it was? Or didn't you? It's just on the edge of the screen, I'm aware. But did you notice it before or not? Let me know. Comments down below. Could be nice to know. Another thing I did was I finished up this Spirograph Beanie since last Yarn Talk. I actually finished it during Wednesday's Live. And here we have him, or it. The Spirograph Beanie is by Bag-O-Day Crochet. The Spirograph Beanie will be a much better fit for a child or teenager. I would say do not go much larger than a 19-inch head. This is a 20-inch and it's a little bit stretched. So you could do 20 if you don't mind a tight fit. But generally I would probably say 19-inch would probably be a better head size. Should you want to wear it, and what would that be in centimeters? 48, 49 centimeters. Like this is a 50 centimeter head, 51 centimeter head. So you definitely want just a size smaller. So that's more like a teenager or size small. My own head is too big. I can't even take it on and test it because my ears will get stuck. Like I won't be able to take it on very nicely, very comfortably. So I made the sizing of this based also lengthwise on a size small. I very much like the texture of this because of the slanted half doubles and the rows below. It looks like this sort of combi pattern, which gets really, really nice texture. And it would also be a really nice texture if you just had a solid colored hat. It's a DK weight yarn. It's a Como from Ceylon. I don't remember the yarn specs, but it is 100% man-made yarn, like acrylic, polyamide, and polyester mix. It was 3.5 ounce skeins to 310 meters of yarn, so like 100 grams to 110 meters, 310 meters, which is about 340 to 50-ish yards. I had about 18 grams left. So that's like 0.8 ounce, maybe. Approximately, good guess, somewhere between 50 and 60 meters of yarn. So I placed the yarn in my stash because I have more of this yarn, but from ice, caked up, and I placed it together with that because I don't know if I will make another hat exactly like this. If I do, what I will do is likely increase the crown width up here by 1 or 2 more stitches, because then I will have more stitches on the repeating round as well. And that will increase the size if you want a more like adult full grown size. It could also be that I try out one of the mandala cakes or similar to mandala cakes that I have, or any other DK weight yarn to make maybe a unique colored version of this. All I really like how it turned out. We ended up doing 3 rows of single crochets for the edge, and that's pretty much it. And if I take it off, then it looks like this. A little bit more like spiraled, and it's worked upside down. But yeah, I'm definitely happy with the end result. Just sad, obviously, that I don't fit it, but I guess the luck is I'm not really a hat person. I'm more of a headband person. That doesn't mean I don't like making hats. It took longer to make than I'd expected, and that's due to 2 things. Thinner yarn than I usually make hats with, and I was doing it only on my live streams, except for 1 round. And when I'm live, I also keep track and I talk with you guys when you interact with me, and that just takes longer time. Like, I won't crochet as fast if I'm live as when I'm not live, which is fair. That's fair. It's like, it's not an issue, it's just how it is, right? So oops, away the head goes. Yeah, so that's 2 finished updates, which I'm really happy that I finished. And let's look into everything else, because I still have lots of things going on currently. Since last week, Friday, I have managed to progress on Fleur. I'm happy. I'm really happy. Generally, I haven't progressed on Fleur for a long time, basically because I've been so busy with everything, handling a small task that I got from my small business, helping my mom-in-law moving, plus I had lots of thoughts on my mind regarding my mom. So I've not done as much on Fleur. It's just been put on the back burner for many reasons. 4mm crochet hook is what I'm using for it, and I'm using the Stylecraft Special DK yarn, and I finally got Plum added, which means that I am now at row 81. I just completed row 81 out of 129, and row 81 I finished up last night, which means that we now have Plum. Plum is on, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to actually have it all on screen. No, probably not. But here we are. It's growing ever so much, and it is gorgeous with the plum color added to it. It's just 1 round of Plum so far. I need to do another couple of rounds, actually. Every round I'm adding now will be fewer of a color because of the pattern increasing, and I'm only having 1 skein of each color, except for the cream, which is this center color, and yeah, I do cake them up because then I could put them on my yarn spindle or yarn wheel holder. It's much easier putting them on caked, and then I work from the outside of the cake, and as I take from them, they just slowly unwind. This is the caked Plum and the caked cream that I'm using. Once I'm done with Plum in row, so the last round of Plum is row 89, and then in row 91, so row 90 will be cream. Row 91 we are going to change to Emperor, the color Emperor, and that is a really gorgeous purple, a really gorgeous dark purple. It's almost shining. It's like royal purple, so I get why they call it Emperor. So compared to the Plum, this is kind of what we are getting. And then after that, I believe we're heading into the blues before we end out in the greens once this blanket is done. I haven't caked up this one yet, Stylecraft Special DK, which is basically a double knit. It is the colorway Emperor, which is 1425. It's 100% premium acrylic. It's 3.5 ounces, so 100 grams, to 295 meters or around 322 yards. You can tumble dry it at cool, you can iron it at cool, and you may dry clean it. And it's machine washable at 30 degrees Celsius, and it's recommending a 4mm crochet hook, but that's also what the pattern recommends. And the designer basically made it in this yarn and has lots of different pretty color combinations. Anke Wintermans designed a Fleur. I have a link to the pattern description box down below. You can buy it on Ravelry. And they also list nicely color suggestions and photos and everything. She's brilliant. That's it, basically. Not much more to say. I have kept so far all the loose ends of these, all the leftovers of each skein that I've added, because I have this idea I'm going to make a scrap project once the blanket is done. I'll see what I have left of yarn, and I might hold some yarn stubble and so on. I'll make a beanie or something along those lines. That is my current thoughts, because, you know, I'm not sure what else I would use the leftovers on. But Emperor will be up next. But so far, I still have a few rounds to go on the Plum. I'll do another, let's see, 81, 83, 85, 87, 89, 4 more rounds of the Plum, and 5 more of the cream. And then once that's done, 6 actually even of the cream. And then once that's done, I'll add the Emperor. And I don't know if I've reached to do that before next Yarn Talk video, simply because life is busy. I did leave in the fuchsia purple end, or fuchsia pink, which is the color I had just before the Plum. So yeah, progress is going good, I would say. On the Fleur. Then Fleur I've been working on for more than a year now, a year and 2 months. We have, the next project I'm working on is the CeylonTea Shawl. And the thing is, I'm not really sure if I actually made any progress on the CeylonTea Shawl since last time. I actually don't think I did, but I'm not sure. I'll admit, I'm not sure. I use a 3.25mm crochet hook for it. And I'm using a cake of a Linda Hobby soft cake. You can see we are into the yellows and grays. We're slowly into the yellows, and then we're going into this cream whites. And I'm not so sure that I actually progress. I don't think so. I will progress a little before next time, because I will tell you later. I'm not gonna bring this with me to Denmark. It's not a practical traveling project, I think. At least, mainly because this cake, or this, yeah, it is a little bit fluffy in the top, and I'm not sure if it really wants to travel. Plus, it has these loose strands. So I'm keeping this at home. We are almost completed the second repetition of the full pattern, not completely, but quite close. And this is why, because I can see that, I'm sure that I actually didn't progress since last time. I think I just basically recorded the yarn talk and then I was out of the door as we went to Germany. But it looks good. I'm happy with it. It's definitely going to be much nicer when it's blocked. And what I think is I'm probably gonna have that as a focus shawl for these days before I leave for my travels. Because I'm not gonna bring this one with me, and the other I want to bring the Ultimate Sacrifice with me, and the Ultimate Sacrifice is by Lorraine Puck. But just shortly, the CeylonTea Shawl is made by RedTeapotAtelier. Link to the pattern description box down below. You can get the pattern on Ravelry or on Hobby. I got it from Hobby via my Hobby Plus subscription. Yeah. And here we go. Need to keep track of them all. I started, so I showed the yarn I wanted to use for the Ultimate Sacrifice Shawl last week's yarn talk video. I brought a 3.5mm crochet hook with me. I placed it in a project crate and I was like, okay, I take with me on the road trip because it's a great crate for a road trip. It's a simple project. I don't need to change yarn too much, etc. So I just decided that is what I'm gonna do. I'll bring this with me on the trip. So that is what I did. Here we are. So this is, you can see I'm into the cake. Gorgeous, gorgeous cake. It is a Rosegarden cake from YarnArt. 100% cotton, 250 grams, so 8.8 ounces to 1,000 meters or 1,093 yards. They call for, I do believe it's a 3mm hook. 3.5 seems to work fine the times I've used it. It's more or less the same yarn as the Sultan Cotton Kings, for those that's curious. It's just a better price, different colors. Better price in the sense that the price is a lot more convenient. I see I didn't even finish the row. Why I should have done before this video, but I didn't. I could have done. That's fair. I miss... This is where I'm currently in progress, and the orange is the end of the row stitch marker. But this is how far we are on the Ultimate Sacrifice Shawl in this gorgeous purple colors. I just need to get the yarn a little bit closer or it will pull. But here we are. I think I did well on the road trip, to be honest. You can also see it is slowly getting into the lighter purples. It's not too easy to see on the camera, I'm aware. But if we do like this, you can kind of get where we're heading, right? I do have more white in case that I will need that to finish a row or whatnot. I have at the starting end and beginning end, I have a starting stitch marker. That's just for me to bit easier keep track of that starting stitch of the row. It's just for my own keepsake, as well as I have one at the point. Because it helps me pay attention as to if I need to increase around or not. Every second row you increase at the point. I am though at a stage now where it takes probably like an hour to complete a row. And I actually worked on this during a meeting this week because it's a simple. I'm now at a place where it's super simple, repeat. So it's travel friendly as well, I think. And also, of course, I don't need to cut much yarns. I just need to make sure it doesn't totally unravel on me. So I need to have it nicely wrapped up. I'm not gonna travel with the crate because I'm flying and that just takes up too much. It's just inconvenient. I haven't found out if I want to gamble on taking it with me on the craft or not. I might try to pack it in and just put it in my, I have checked in luggage with me. I'll probably just check it in, as well as my hooks and so on. And then I may have another, a single skein of yarn I might bring with me on the flight. It is a short flight. It's only an hour, 20 minutes. So it's a quite short flight. So I have something else I might bring with me and on the craft. If I think that's possible. I will have to check also if that fits with everything else, because I do need to pack a backpack that I'm bringing with me, and if that fits in there without making too much of a mess of it and everything like that. So I'm not 100% decided yet as to how and what, but I'll definitely bring something with me so I have something there. Also because I know already now that I will be spending some time at the hospital. Either for tests or maybe anything else. We don't really know how that looks yet. But I'll be there for my mom, obviously. And, you know, I can't do anything except waiting when I'm there. So I'll definitely need something to do. Like, zero doubt, I'll need something. Just something. let's see, what else do we have? We have, for bringing with me to Denmark, I want to bring the only and single skein of the Papatia Joyful yarn I have, which is this yarn. It is, in the beginning I would say it's a bit like an army color, but it's not that army bad. It's different greens, limes, blended together. It is 100 grams, so 3.5 ounce skein to 200 meters or 218 yards. 20% wool, 80% acrylic. They recommend 3 to 4 millimeter knitting needles or a 5 millimeter crochet hook. I believe I've done it in a 5.5 even crochet hook. I had this one in the blue, which is some of the beanies I made where there was some blue coloration in. I'm bringing this one with me to Denmark because I think here should be enough to attempt maybe knitting a hat. If my mom is fit enough, we talked about maybe sitting together and seeing if I can refresh some of my knitting skills. And I think that's probably a good idea. And it's time spent together. And right now, time spent together is the most important. Life just changes in these circumstances. And yeah, that probably might be what I'll end up doing, seeing if I can knit a hat or a beanie. So I'm bringing this yarn and we'll see how that goes. Because I only have the single skein and I've been for long debating if I should make some a crocheted hat or what I should do. And I think now is actually, it's just telling me it wants to be a knit hat. That is what we're gonna do. So we will knit a hat together, I guess. Yeah. What else is that? I had a poll on my community tab. It's been running for almost 2 weeks. And that poll was, what project should I make next from my drops? I have a bunch of drop yarns where I already have defined projects for. And the decision was to make the Sweet Martine Poncho. So yes, we are heading into another poncho. This poncho has some granny squares in it. Not really sure if that is a good project to bring with me on the road. It could be, because it's lots of loose small pieces, but I haven't decided on yet. What is known is this is the yarn that I will be using for it. It is the Drops Cotton Light, so it's exactly the same as what this poncho is made of, which is 50% cotton, 50% polyester yarn. Let's see, I have 2 colors here that it goes with. For some reason, they don't write down the color number, but it is light fuchsia and light lilac. So this is the light fuchsia of the Cotton Light, and this is the light lilac. And these two I'm gonna combine in the poncho, because I have the idea it would be nice. So the light fuchsia here is the main color, and the light pink will be some stripes going through. And so I guess that's the next project I have from Drops as point of perspective. How far I get on this before next time, I don't know. Sweet Martine won the poll with 53% of the votes. And that is as of time of recording this video, because I cannot stop the poll. So if anyone else puts up the votes after, I'm not gonna change my mind. It's based on those first 2 weeks, and that is the Sweet Martine that we're gonna head into here. It is, what's nice about these, of course, is it's small skeins, it's easy to bring with me. So what I might do is spend some time this weekend to go through the pattern and see if it would make sense to bring it with me. And I won't need to bring all of it with me, obviously, but I might bring some of it with me. Because only having the cake working with the 3.5 millimeter crochet hook is small. And I'm not sure if I feel like working with a small yarn like that for the whole duration. I might also find another cake to stuff in to my bag going there, because I will definitely still need projects for when I'm there. regardless, because I am going to travel up far more than initially planned. So who knows, maybe I'll take you guys with me on a road trip to see some Danish yarn stores. No promise, because it all depends on anything else agenda-wise that's fitting in and if it will fit in. So please be patient. Please be patient. Another yarn I've been debating on bringing with me, which is probably the easier one to do, as long as I write everything down on my phone, is I have some skeins of the We Love yarn recycled cotton, which I used for some bags a while ago, and I actually want to design a bag. We talked about it, I don't know how many times the last 3 months probably. And now I'm actually sort of slowly settled on an idea in my head. So what I may do is simply just to bring some of these with me and then maybe do that. And I probably wouldn't need much more than 1 or 2 balls in the aircraft, which is a lot easier than a bigger cake. So the cake I'm probably packing down to go into my check-in luggage. And then I'll take some of these with me on the craft. I do have some 5mm hooks, which are not my Clover Soft Touch, because I would really cry if they took them off me. But I could try just bringing another 5mm hook from my random collection where it's less important if they say, okay, we can't have you have this. But from what I know, because I travel within the EU and there's agreements within the EU, it should be possible without too much issues to bring knitting needles or crochet hooks with you on the flight. So I will try. And I'm probably also going to try to, I have some of the foldable scissors. I thought I had them here. Yeah, I have one here. I have these foldable scissors, and I do believe I have more of them upstairs, at least one more. So what I might do is also to try to bring the foldable scissor with me in the craft. They're not super sharp, but they do the work. So that is probably what I will attempt doing, and then I'll just see how it goes. I think that is the plan right now. So I could bring those with me as well. So yeah, I do have plans. I do have to get some packing done on that account. I think I have a good idea of what I want to do now with the bag. Like, I had a different idea, thought it was great, and I was like, no, it's not that unique. Now I have a new idea, which I'm like, I think that is actually going to work out really nice. The only thing I'm still uncertain of is the straps. But I might get an idea when I have the base done, the foundation base, I think. Now, wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. Another thing that I have tried lately, and that is a new thing, and I told you we have lots of things to talk about in this video, and I don't even know how I managed to have time to do it. But earlier this week, I tested off a new project of mine. I would say it might end up turning into a hobby. I haven't done much yet, but I've deviated into resin. I've made buttons. I've made my first 2 buttons. And I think they're gorgeous. I do have molds to make more different kind of buttons. I've even considered maybe that could be an idea for a future giveaway, because it is cheap to ship. They're not that heavy. These are like 5 grams, so 2.5 grams each, approximately. So I could easily ship that as a regular standard mail. That wouldn't be too expensive. I might actually consider that. Just to see, also maybe to get some practice making them. So that is, it's just bubbling in my mind, right? I haven't decided yet. But this is the color I kind of thought would be great for the project I have in mind, where I need these buttons. And this is about the size I need, because I need about, these are like, I do believe they're like 2.5 centimeters wide, which is a bit less than an inch. 0.8 inches or something like that. Or 0.75, 3/4 inch. Not sure how you measure inches. Not familiar with it. But they're like 2.5 centimeters approximately wide. And they're replacing some different ones. I need more. I don't have enough in 2 because I want to make this vest. And it's a little bit of a chunkier vest, and you need these buttons on the center. And I thought, well, the benefit of making your own is you can completely decide yourself how they're gonna look. In fact, I could also make buttons with yarn scraps, have them clear, and then have the different various yarns into these buttons or fibers or something like that. That would make them also unique. I do need to do a bit of grinding because the back side is a little bit not as nice as the bottom part that went into the direct to the mold. The top part needs a little bit of grinding off, but overall I'm pretty happy with how these turned out, and it was like my first ever try. I'm definitely not done yet. I might even consider testing to make custom crochet hooks. My mom even said that she had some old hooks, some old metal hooks I could get to practice on if I wanted to, so I might actually have some hooks with me home. But that's about it. So I want to make a vest, and I don't even remember the name of the vest. It's actually a drops vest, but I bought some hobby yarns because the vest on drops is a woolen type vest, and I don't want wool. I just want, so in this case I ended up going with Amigo acrylic because in fact the yarn they used for the vest should be very similar to the Hobby Amigo XL and the Hobby Amigo Chunky. They're using two different yarns, and there's like an adjacent color and so on. So I ended up getting these from Amigo XL back in the, I think November, December. And I bought 5 of these, and they will be the base part of the vest. Vest or blazer, however you want to say. And then you will have to have an edging, and that will be made in the Amigo Chunky. And they're like these teal colors, right? They should work okay together. And then we have these for buttons. That will work perfect. The example is, I do believe, like brown, and I'm not really that into browns, but I think this could be really great. And then we'll make a vest with this. And if it works and succeeds, I may do different colors and so on later on. First of all, I just need to make it to see if it actually will work, what I think will work. And it's, Amigo is a nice soft acrylic. And I, of course, got the yarns when they were on sale. So that's kind of how I ended up saying, okay, I'll buy it now. I don't know when I will start on this vest. But that won't be anytime shortly. It will be a bit later down the road. I'll probably want to make a few more of these first, to make sure that I have all the buttons ready. And I won't have time to do that until after I get home from Denmark. And then we have the other projects here I'm working on as well. So the vest is not the highest priority. So it's probably gonna be a bit more of a summer project. We'll have to see. And then it's ready for autumn because it's more needed for when you need like your body warmed. So that's fine. I think it's gonna be like a late spring or early summer project. And then it's ready for autumn. That is my mind right now, my thoughts. I think we got through everything. It's a long time since we had this long of a yarn talk video, but there was many things to go through. I'm sure next yarn talk video will probably be at least equal as long. I will see if I can find out and figure out to do something alternatively until then. So I'm not sure how next week looks, except Monday. One thing is for sure, Monday I'll be here with a live, and we'll see what project we'll be working on during that live. I don't know yet, but you will see on Monday. And that will be at 2 p.m. I'm expecting 2 p.m. Central European time, so that is about 8 a.m. Eastern. Maybe I'll pop on a bit earlier. It kind of depends on how my day goes. I have many things to take care of. So thank you for watching it all the way to here. If you do like yarn talks, etc., don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done it yet. That really does help me out. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate that you wanted to take out some of your time to be here. Take care and happy crafting. Until see you again. Bye.